Hi class. Today we're going to be learning about a very prominent activist and someone who was a philosopher back in the 19th century. Her name was Catherine Beecher. She was a writer, and she also promoted equal access to education, not only for women, but also advocated in certain roles for the teachers to, the women to be teachers and mothers. So while she went ahead and embraced feminism and looked to different things such as nurturing, Beecher also argued that women were definitely supposed to be in the role of being morally and intellectually responsible for the development of their children, and that should be their role in life. So Catherine Beecher was born in the early 19th century, and she had both a mother and a father who were religious. The dad was a Presbyterian minister and evangelist, and the mother was a stay-at-home parent. So she had 9 children, and when she was 9, she attended a school which was all female-based called the Litchfield Female Academy. Unfortunately, when she was around 16 years old, her mother died, and she, being one of the eldest of the 9 children, had to manage the household. So along with that, approximately a year after her mother's passing, she had gotten a new stepmother, and 3 of her siblings are rather famous along with herself, one being Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. And then she also had siblings, Isabella, who was a suffrage leader, and then also a brother who was a pastor who lectured against things like slavery and supporting temperance and women's suffrage for many, many people. So as you can see, her family was very deeply philosophical and had very opinionated views on how, women should be in life, and also what their roles were. While she was young, she did write many poems, and she dedicated her life exclusively to education after her fiance passed in a tragic shipwreck. She and her sister in 1823 did found a female academy called the Hartford Female Seminary. It was said that many schools in this era students or women were primarily taught like fine arts and language arts, yet Catherine Beecher thought it was very important to include a full range of subjects for females to learn, and she was definitely a pioneer in things like physical education and improving women's health, and that women were not fragile creatures, that they were strong and able, just like men. When she moved west, she also began a new institute called the Western Female Institute. She wanted to implement some of the same thoughts and characteristics of her previous school. Unfortunately, it did not do well financially, so she had to support herself with different things like lectures and books. The books demonstrated a lot of her beliefs on how women should be mothers and educators and raising their children as people that would create a sanctuary for their homes. So while she wrote books that advocated things that may influence feminism, she also had a very clear thought and opinion on how women should be caretakers for the family, and then that was their biggest job in a household, so that they could take care of their children and teach them to be proper citizens, and that was very important to her. So one thing that's very important about Catherine Beecher is that although it seems like she would support suffrage, she did not. She argued that home and school are what women should limit their lives to, and that she felt that domestic and teaching roles were the source of women's power and influence, and politics was not. Throughout her life, she wrote many books, and she had different thoughts and ways to show people what she really considered was important. And she wrote some books which are very important to education. They are called the McGuffey Readers, which was the first nationally adopted textbooks for elementary students. So as you can see, along with her very strong beliefs and everything, she also wanted to show that that she could teach children and give them the opportunity to learn, and that was her role in life. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Catherine Beecher, and I hope that you can think more about what she's trying to teach us, or what she was trying to teach us in her time, and how it influenced education. I'm here for questions. Bye.